West War Room Rivals is sponsored by Emporia State Federal Credit Union. Learn more at esfcu.com. Text or call the number 620-342-2336 to get started today. ESFCU is the Shovix banking of choice, federally insured by the NCUA.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are now in the War Room. This is West War Room Rivals, where rivals collide, and our roll call is brought to you by Spy Optic. Use promo code Orange20 for 20% off. Fellas, how we doing?
Oh, so ready for today.
Oh, I'm so pumped.
We got a special guest waiting. Man, I am so pumped for today.
All right, so as you guys can see, we're all rocking our shades by Spy Optic. Shovik boys, go ahead and get us started with the roll call, please.
Right on. All right, I am Austin, a co-host of Shovik Sports, and I am representing the Chiefs.
I'm Corey, representing the Broncos.
Matt.
And I'm Matt with Orange Crush News 365, representing the Broncos.
And Cody.
And I'm Cody, representing Raider Nation. Let's go.
And I'm Tim, the host of the night and the Chargers representative. And that is, all you need to know. I'm super pumped. So without further ado, we have a video to play. Maybe.
Ball tipped and caught! Oh my gosh! The double deflection! Set up the screen instead. He'll float it over the middle. Jump ball and it's Powers down the sideline. The rookie from Georgia with the game's first goal. And caught by a touchdown.
Woo! Oh, never gets old. Never gets old. All right, guys, we have a special show for you tonight. We are joined by a former Chargers player, 2001 unanimous first-team All-American out of the University of Texas, former fifth overall pick. Excuse me. I'm so excited here. Quinten Jammer is going to be joining us. Welcome in, Quentin.
What's up? How y'all doing?
Hey,
how are you doing?
We're doing great, man.
Doing good. Just got my son out of the dentist chair, so he's joining us, but he's good in the back.
Oh, as long as he's ready, we're ready, man.
Hey,
let's go.
We're ready. Okay, so we're gonna kind of get this started with, obviously the college career, life at Texas. And what I'd like to know is Texas is known for defensive backs and having big-time NFL players. In your days at Texas, who were some of your favorite teammates with the Longhorns?
My favorite teammates, definitely Nathan Vasher was one of my favorite, if not my favorite. Roderick Babers was one. Greg Brown, long time ago, guys. So bear with me now, because it's been so long since I even been thinking about my playing days at Texas. It's been that long.
Yeah, so I just out of curiosity, were you at Texas at any point in time as my boy Derek Johnson?
I was there his freshman year. That was my senior year, and we had the number one defense in the country that year.
Yeah, y'all were stacked. I remember Chiefs drafting him. I couldn't be happy. We needed a quarterback, but I was still happy with DJ.
Derek was a dog in college, man. His freshman year, he was starting for us, and basically Mack Brown said we got to find a place to put him on the field. He was that good.
Yeah, I believe it. Glad he was a Chief, even though you might not agree during your days. But you were known for physicality, right? Like that's what you were known for. How much of that was natural versus developed in college?
I think it was natural because growing up, I was always a pretty angry child. and so it's always good to get your your aggression out on the field. But my physicality, it was basically based on my size, because my freshman year I came into Texas, I was 165 pounds, and they were going to move me to safety the following year. So that summer and that upcoming year, I put on some significant weight, so I was big. So I played safety my sophomore and junior year. The first game of my junior year, I tore my shoulder up pretty badly, and I missed the entire season. And so I had it repaired, and then we made it to, I think we were playing in the Cotton Bowl, and Mack Brown decided he was going to move me to cornerback, and I was already big, and I had a safety's mentality, so it just kind of integrated into my game.
So I have a quick question.
Oh, sorry, Tim. Go ahead, buddy. No, you're good.
Go ahead, bud.
I was going to say, what was it like playing for Mack Brown in Texas? Like, what was that experience like?
Man, it was dope. I always say, Mack Brown saved my life, because I remember was probably my junior year. I was behaving very much like a immature 19-year-old, and I was about to be kicked out of school, and so he kind of sat me in his office with my mom and my dad, and we had this great conversation. And after that conversation, I kind of straightened everything up, and I went on to become what I am.
So I have a quick question. Obviously Texas back then played in the Big 12, and who was one of your, I guess you could say, like, favorite receivers to cover in college? In
college, let me see. Justin Gage was a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. But I think my favorite was remember Reggie Williams from Washington?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was different. He was a bigger guy, but he could move really well. And so I think of all my college receiver opponents, he was probably my favorite.
So that was actually one of the ones that I was going to ask, but I'm going to shift gears real quick, sticking with the Texas theme. So
I will tell you though, the toughest receiver I covered in college was Roy Williams and BJ Johnson.
Oh yeah. So
yeah,
that takes me to this one is, so weirdly enough, and I know we're not batting very high with you right now wearing KU stuff, and I'm getting ready to tell you that our mom side of the family are actually huge Oklahoma fans. Just know that we do root for Texas because why? Yeah. What is your favorite Red Rivalry memory? Because I can think of when I was younger, you guys would beat the crap out of Oklahoma, then they would kind of return the favor. Like, what is it about that rivalry, or do you have a favorite moment in that rivalry that stands out?
The one that stands out to me the most is it was in a loss, but it was when Roy Williams jumped over the offensive line and sacked Chris Sims.
That's the one I'm thinking.
Yeah. And that's the one that stands out most, because it was such a good game and we were both ranked so highly. And for it to come down to like a defensive play like that was pretty cool. It was a pretty cool moment. Even in defeat, it was a cool moment. So I would have to say that one.
Yeah, Maddie.
Yeah. So Quentin, like, other than like Roy Williams, were there any other receivers from like your Big 12 days that you just like really looked forward to covering, and like you always look forward to that type of matchup?
They were trash, man.
No. Yep. If anyone's wondering, it's actually Quinten Jammer. That's Quentin.
All trash.
That's the DB mentality, though, right? Like,
yeah.
For real,
yeah, DB mentality. And the thing about DB is it is a mentality. You got to have a dog mentality, and you got to be willing to do anything and everything that you're called on to do, and that's what I kind of prided myself on. So I wanted to be a complete corner, but I had bad hands. So I had everything to be, to be a complete corner. I just didn't have the interceptions to go with it. And with that, I will say, y'all posted my pass deflections wrong, man. I have 140 NFL pass deflections, which ranks 17th all time.
We'll definitely correct that. Yeah, that deserves a lot more respect.
Yeah, I don't know who was the stat poster on this, but
I'll take that up with Google because I got that from Google. So I'll make sure.
Yeah, you gotta get that updated, man.
Yeah,
somebody actually sent me that on Twitter. I literally just saw it the other day, so I didn't even know that. But once it got sent to my direct message, I was like, I didn't even know that. So I thought it was a neat little thing to say. Especially on this show.
Yeah. And me being a fan of specifically defense and then corners, I tend to catch myself looking at the PBUs more than I do interception numbers for a couple reasons. A lot of times top corners don't get thrown at.
Yeah.
But when they do, they aren't necessarily, so they're not going to have as many opportunities to get the picks. But your one job is to prevent the receiver from catching the ball. So
yes, I've been saying that for years, and people don't get it. Like, okay, I had bad hands, but the receiver didn't catch it. So it's like our job is to prevent the wide receiver from catching the ball, and I think I don't get a lot of credit just because I wasn't the flashy INT guy, but I was always making impacts, whether it was tackling or breaking up passes, but I get remembered a lot for PIs my first couple of years.
It's crazy. People will be like, this dude had 12 interceptions this year, and I'm like, but he allowed 120 quarterback rating and gave up 1,400 yards receiving. I don't know what you're trying to do here.
Because it was. I honest, it was like the Trayvon Diggs season where he had 10 picks, but he gave up 1,500 yards receiving. It's okay, you made a big play, but shit, they getting chunk yardage.
That's exactly who I had in mind when I was saying that out loud. That's exactly what I was thinking of.
You know what though? So at least I got that little fact about you right, Quentin, because I did put you weren't getting a whole lot of attention, no Pro Bowls or anything, but that's because you were taking your assignment out of the game. So it's hard to get those turnovers when you're locking down these receivers. So of course, no one's going to focus on that because everyone's like, well, how many picks did he get? Okay, but how many receptions did his assignment get when he was in coverage? So I got that right.
Yeah, you did. And I also, I was a guy I prided myself on being a physical guy. So I prided myself on tackling. And so I made a lot of big plays, stopping guys on fourth down and stopping guys short of the goal line and stripping guys. So, it's not I was never about accolades and I was just a team guy. I just wanted to win. So if I had to bite ankles to win, I would.
Hell yeah.
Good point.
Like it.
Yep.
I like it.
So we're going to talk about the draft experience, but I do want to point out, kind of carrying on the DB thing, I think Deion Sanders had a great comment that he made that, he didn't have a lot of tackles because his job was to prevent the guy from catching the ball. If he had a lot of tackles, it's because he didn't do his job in stopping the guy from getting the ball, and that was what his objective was. So I do want to say to continue on your point, Quinten, of that's why, we don't allow a lot of tackles because they're not catching the ball on us,
Yeah.
So going on to the draft night when you went 5th overall, what was it like for you on that day? And what was the feeling when you got that, when you got the, announced by the Chargers? Did they call you ahead of time? What was that experience like?
Man, I went up a week early. So cause I had never really been anywhere. So going to New York was big time for me. It was my first time there. So of course I enjoyed it. But it was the draft night was a lot of butterflies. I was very nervous, very anxious, and I know I was supposed to go somewhere in the top 10. Didn't know exactly where I was going, but right as the third pick was about to be called, my phone rang, and I thought it was the Lions calling me. and it was just them testing the phone, and then they picked Joey Harrington, and so I was a little afraid there for a moment because I thought I was going to go to Dallas, and I didn't know anything about San Diego. I know that I sat in a meeting room with Marty Schottenheimer for like 2 hours just watching film, and we were just watching film and just going over certain different coverages and how I would play it, and from the safety position, how I play it at corner, and we were just going through, all of the ins and outs of certain coverages, and I got a call from San Diego. I had done no visits, no anything, just the visit with Marty, and they called my name as the 5th pick, and it was unbelievable because for 2 years straight, every night before I went to bed, I prayed that I would be a top 5 pick, and Dallas had the number 6 pick, so it was like God had answered my prayer, and so the feeling was like it was unreal. It was real. It was unreal. Everything after that, I don't even remember.
That's a really cool experience, I bet.
And I appreciate you sharing that. That's kind of cool, actually.
Yeah, it is.
You always hear about the draft. You see the guys at the draft, and they're sitting with their families in the green room, and then obviously then there's situations where those guys are sitting in the green room, and then they're at the pick 28, 29. They're still sitting in there, so I can only imagine what it feels like. And then for you to be a top 5 pick to get your name called early, that's truly awesome. So
I literally went in. I went into the green room with the hope that I wouldn't be the last guy in the green room.
Yeah.
No.
So this show's obviously based on rivalries. AFC West, in our opinion, has the best division in football going into this season. We kind of lean towards the rivalries now aren't the same than when you played. Like, you guys had some of the best trash talkers, some of the best, just physical guys on all 4 of the teams. So what made the AFC West rivalries different when you played to what you seeing them now?
Because it was so competitive, like you knew the games were going to be close. You knew it was going to come down to a field goal or sack, fumble, or something crazy. I remember playing in Kansas City, and I'm thinking we're going to lose the game. And Philip drives the ball down the field. We score. We need another score to win. We can't win it with a field goal. Kick an onside kick. Dwayne Bowe catches it, get hit. He fumbles. We score and win the games. And I remember another time in Kansas City where all we have to do is kneel the ball to win the game, and Philip fumbles. You guys get the fumble, kick a field goal, and win the game. So it's those type of games that used to happen in the AFC West that kept everything so feisty and so tight.
Yeah, I remember that Philip Rivers game, that fumble. Yeah, that's where I started saying the Chargers are going to charge her. No offense, but
we say it too.
It's a thing, but I agree. The rivalries, they just felt different. And that's kind of our point. But
remember the Denver game. We went up 24-0 at halftime, and we thought we had the game in the bucket, and nope.
I literally
y'all just basically returned the favor because we had did it previously. Where y'all were up like 26-3 or something, and we came back to win the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, times were different. I missed those ones, but one of our favorite questions to ask, and I can't wait to hear yours. But what was your welcome to the NFL moment? Do you remember have an awesome story, or just remember that welcome to the NFL moment?
It's probably not an awesome story, but like I kind of grew up like idolizing Junior. I had his shoes, and I idolized Rodney Harrison. And so, the first day I got to walk in the locker room, it was like during mini camp, and to get to see those guys was like my welcome to NFL moment, because like now I'm in the locker room with them, And so it was kind of crazy. And another funny story about that team is, in Texas, in high school in Texas, we had a North-South All-Star game where kids from the best kids from the north of Texas played against the best kids in the area from the south of Texas. And LT and Drew Brees was on my team.
Mm-hmm.
And so I walk into the locker room and they're there too. And we had, right out of high school, we were all in the same little dorm area, shooting shit and whatever. And now we're on the same, NFL football team, living out our dreams. So that was cool too.
Yeah, that's, you kind of get there, and that's kind of your, I made it, right? Like, I'm here, I made it.
Yeah.
And
I made it. I'm playing with Junior Seau and Rodney Harrison. So it was my I made it moment. Yeah.
That's really cool.
Okay, so playing with Philip Rivers.
Yep.
Do you have a favorite Philip Rivers story that you would be willing to share with the people watching? Also, maybe give an example of like some of his trash talk. Like he is known for the trash talk.
Like, yeah, that was I said the other day, I don't know if I said it on Twitter, if I was actually talking to somebody that the reason our teams were so good was because, we would compete. We would compete. Like we were out there competing. And it was because of Philip, because Philip would talk trash the entire practice. So like you didn't want him to trash talk you, so you would lock down your wide receiver, or you would pick him off and trash talk him back, and we were trash talking him back, and so we had great teams because it was just part of our NFL mentality that we're not gonna let the quarterback talk trash to us. So we were all out there competing. The wide receivers was competing. We made them better. I said it. We had Keenan McCardle running by people. Because we used to compete so bad, and he's 50 years old out there running by people. So it was just the competitive nature of our team, that made us a great football team.
That's incredible. Can you imagine being trash talked by Philip Rivers every day? The way that he trash talks, not even like a normal way. It's just kind of like an all shucks way. And then you're trying to go back and forth with it. That'd be such fun days in practice.
His favorite thing to do would be the section right behind the bench when we played in Arrowhead. If we won, he would sit there after every game that we won. He would just trash talk that section, just the section behind the bench, and he would trash talk. And I thought that was always funny that he would, if we won the game, he would definitely right after the game go right to that section and talk trash.
It's funny because like the clip of him trash talking that always shows up like on my TikTok or YouTube or whatever is when you guys played Jacksonville and he threw a 98-yard touchdown pass and he's like 98-yard touchdown.
Yeah.
Like I can get excited playing it off like he wasn't trying to like put salt in the wound there. So I can hear him talking trash to the fans. So.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite? Do you have a favorite trash talk story from him? I mean, like, there's so many. He gets sacked.
Yeah. Not that I can remember, but the 90-yard touchdown that wasn't with us. But when I saw it it was hilarious to me because I knew like that. Yep, that's Philip. That's Philip.
I can remember seeing one, and he gets hit by like the defender, like an edge rusher, like puts him on the ground, and he just gets up and goes, like he knew he had the first down. He knew his receiver made the play. He goes, "I'm not going anywhere."
Yeah, man. That was fun. Yeah, that was fun.
Oh,
Philip was a great dude too. So just the way he prepared for the games and And I remember, it just in the locker room, him just playing dominoes with everybody and talking trash to everybody. Philip was a character, man.
So speaking of like AFC West rivalries and him like trash talking Chiefs Kingdom, which by the way is funny in and of itself, they need a little bit more of that. But when you played for the Chargers, what was your guys? Was there like a team in the AFC West that you guys always look forward to? I mean, I know divisional games are important, but did you have a team that you always look forward to playing in the division?
Yes. So when we got there, Marty was the head coach, and the first thing he said when we got ready for the Raiders was how much he hates the Raiders. And
all right,
Raider
let's
week.
go.
So we had a Raider week.
Yes, sir.
Well, we just prepared because Marty hated you guys so much. I don't know what y'all did to him, but whatever it was, he was pissed off about it.
I mean, he went to the Chiefs and the Chargers just so that way he can keep playing the Raiders twice a year. So there must be something we did. He must love it. Was there a particular receiver? So this is kind of like a two-part on the receiver part. Was there a receiver that you did not want to go against because it was a tough battle, or is there a receiver that you always look forward to because of those type of battles? Which receiver was that, and which one were you always looking forward to?
I was always looking forward to Marvin Harrison because he was my toughest cover. So I like, you didn't want to cover him, but you had to. But like I was up to the challenge. So I loved when we played the Colts and Marvin Harrison. He was the. I don't care what anybody says. He's hands down the hardest receiver I've ever covered.
Yeah, he was like that for a lot of years too.
Yeah, hardest receiver I ever covered. Yeah, it was always a battle.
I would say I feel like a lot of corners back in like that early 2000s era was Marvin Harrison was the one that was toughest to cover. So
yeah, man.
Yeah.
But
Marvin was a route god. And like everything was full speed. You didn't know, everything looked the same. Go route, out route, it was all ran at the same speed. Dig routes, he ran it all at the same speed, in and out of cuts.
Jeez.
Quentin, what was it like playing for Marty Schottenheimer? What was that experience like?
Man, the most awesome experience you could have with a coach and a player. Like he was just he was that guy, man. Love Marty, and everybody on that team, 100% of the team will tell you that Marty was like their guy because he just have you ready to to jump on grenades for him, man. Like he was that guy.
So
I bet.
Yeah, and we had Coach Dick Vermeil on a couple of weeks ago, and he talked about Marty Schottenheimer a lot and all good things. Can we talk about how much BS it is that he's not in the Hall of Fame? Because I know Coach Vermeil was kind of upset by it, just talking about that he was in the Hall of Fame, but Marty wasn't. What's your thoughts on that?
It is BS, but I think, in my opinion, I think a lot of the Hall of Fame is BS. Because there's a lot of guys who should be in who are not in, or they have to wait to get in, or first ballot Hall of Famers don't get in on the first ballot. It's I don't know how it is all voted on, but I think it's a lot of BS, and it's complete bullshit that Marty's not in it.
Starting to sound like it's more of a popularity contest than it is an accolade accomplishment.
It seems that's the way it seems. I'm not saying that's what it is, but it kind of seems like it. It does.
Mm-hmm. Maddie?
I'm going to shift gears real quick here, Quentin. So, you brought up earlier that Monday night game against the Broncos, and something Corey and I remember was you had that 80-yard pick six against Peyton Manning. I was on deployment for this, so I'm out in the middle of the ocean, and it's midnight, and you just picked Peyton Manning off, and you ran it back 80 yards. What do you remember about this play?
All right, he signaled to the wide receiver, and we had played the Colts so much I knew his signals.
Oh
wow!
He tipped his pitches, huh?
He gave the wide receiver a signal for a dart route, which is just basically a one-step slant and cross my face, and he'll get him the ball really fast. But the wide receiver ran a go, so I ran his route for him. And I caught the ball and returned it. When I played for the Broncos, he asked me about that, and I told him.
It was one of the coldest pictures that I found, and I put it on our promo of Peyton Manning just sitting there on the ground as you're running by him, because I don't know what kind of tackling effort Peyton had going on there on that play. it was Peyton-like, but no, that was awesome to see too. So
he certainly wasn't going to chase you down, that's for sure.
Oh yeah,
no,
he wasn't burning anybody except for the Cowboys and QVC.
Right.
That's true. That was a great one.
That was a good one.
Omaha. Okay, so Quentin, this is going to be the last question in this section, and then we'll move on. So I'm the Chargers fan of this group, and the way I became a Chargers fan is I didn't have a team growing up, and I was watching college football, and I was actually watching LaDainian Tomlinson, and I said, whoever drafts LaDainian Tomlinson, that'll be the team I root for. And, as we all know, that ended up being the Chargers. So what was it like playing with a guy like LT in his prime?
I mean, it was exciting to watch. I mean, I played defense, so we sat on the sideline, and with any touch of the ball, it could have been 6. So we were paying attention, and he was a guy that made you pay attention to him. But what I remember is just how great of a dude he was off the field. He was just, he was quiet. He didn't say much, but like he was just cool to hang out with. My little brother used to go stay at his house and hang out with him when his nephews were in town. So, he's just a cool, down to earth dude off the field. You wouldn't even think that he was a LT if you just, if you ran out in public and you were a Charger fan, you would know him. But as a person that didn't know football or didn't know anything about LaDainian Tomlinson, he was just a cool dude.
But I think that's the important part of this, and kind of why we try to get the former players and coaches on, is just to remind everybody, you guys are still human. You still have a life outside of football. Yes, we love the game of football. We're fans, but at the end of the day, being able to hear the stories, about you guys off the field and just being human, right? Because that's kind of what it's about.
Yeah, and that's kind of why I'm glad I didn't play in the age of fantasy football, because I know them guys catch hell when they don't get the fantasy points.
You get that Coach Boone speech.
So real quick, what was it like on his record-breaking season? Just take us through that that moment, when he broke the record for most touchdowns in a season.
Man, it was just a wild ride because first of all, we had by far one of the best teams of the decade that year. We got beat on some fluky God don't like us type stuff against the Patriots, but just the season alone was it was just crazy. It was wild. Every game, you kind of felt something special was gonna happen, and he was just putting up touchdowns like a madman. So it was so fun to watch and to be a part of.
So let's we'll transition now, kind of like a career reflection type thing. What are some things you maybe miss about playing the game right now?
Definitely the locker room and the antics that go on in a locker room. I miss that camaraderie during training camp, and just hanging out with teammates after games. The dinners, team dinners. Team golf outings, but that's what I miss the most, is the brotherhood of the locker room.
When you retired, did it take a while for you to adjust from not being around a locker room setting or that camaraderie that you were talking about? Did it take you a while to kind of readjust?
Well, first of all, I never officially retired.
Oh, so you're ready to go. So we can get you. All right, the Raiders could use an extra cornerback if you're interested.
No, but the transition is tough, is because you just kind of you just thrown away and discarded, and you don't know what to do next. Because all your life you've been a football player and been treated a certain way, and and then you just kind of discarded, thrown in the streets to kind of fend for yourself. But it was tough, and I did a whole lot of work in order to get myself out of the funk of actually being retired, because I think a lot of us go through it. Once you're done, you kind of go through this period of like dark days, and it's it's something to be looked at. I think, in my opinion, just because we all go through it, and nobody knows exactly what it is, but at some point you do go through it. And I think it's just it's the athlete mentality. You get into a rhythm of doing something for years, and then now you can't do it anymore. One, because nobody wants you to do it for them anymore, and two, your body just probably can't do it anymore. So you just gotta figure out and come to grips with that, and figure out how to channel your time and energy into something different.
Thank you for sharing that, by the way. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, no worries. Yeah, man. Came on the show to share some shit, right?
Hell yeah.
And we appreciate that. It's points of view that we may not even think about or see. So definitely appreciate you sharing that. And that'll take me into my next question. Are there any hobbies or teammates that you still enjoy hanging out with or running into or try to connect with still, like on the regular basis and whatnot?
Hobby is definitely golf, and watching my younger two play soccer. And I get to Texas, I got a high school senior and a junior at Angleton High School, and then I have a sophomore in college. So just spending my time back and forth between Texas and San Diego during the sports season is a hobby. Well, kind of have to, but I enjoy it, so it is a hobby. But yeah, I just played in a golf tournament with Sproles. He's one of the guys that I keep in touch with on a regular. He lives in LA. And Weddle coaches at Rancho Bernardo High School. Still, I keep in regular contact with him, but it's always good to run into everybody. I think SP I still keep in contact with a lot. Merriman I keep in contact with a lot. He always calls just to check on me. So it's always good to run into guys. When I catch them, I see them at golf tournaments all the time. So it's always fun to run into everybody.
Yeah, and we see you hanging out with Darren Sproles a little bit too. He's obviously a Kansas legend, and we're from Kansas. He obviously went to Kansas State, which is obviously a rival school there. Did you guys actually match up in college at all?
No, we didn't. I was a little before Darren, maybe 2-3 years, maybe even more than that.
That's what I thought. I couldn't quite remember.
I'm an old guy, man. I'm old. I'm 46. I turned 46 in June.
You're looking great for the age, man. I mean, like I said, the Raiders can probably use you. So,
hey, man, I told the Chargers to give me a call the other day. I was watching some of them clips on about their corners on X, and they need some work. They could use some work out there.
So speaking of today's game and looking at it in terms of like your physical play, of course, how would you stack up against today's like receivers in the way that the game is today and how you play physically? How would you match up against them?
Now with everything that's going on with like how the offenses are being run, I see a lot of zone coverages. You don't see a whole lot of man anymore. So I would definitely have to work on, backpedaling, opening up, and breaking on the ball. But today's game is just, I just don't like the fact that, wide receivers can't be touched anymore. Like the whole purpose of a game, the whole purpose of, a lot of my flags was because I was trying to impose my will early. And you can't do it anymore. You can't do it at all. And you wanted the receiver to fear you in some way. Like, I don't want him to get his hands on me because he's strong, or like, I don't want to cross the middle because I'm gonna get my head knocked off. And you don't get that anymore. So it's a different game. I still love to watch. My brother still plays. My little cousin is Cam Ward. I still love to watch football. It's just not the same brand of football that I used to play, but I still enjoy it a lot.
Yeah, you nail on the head right there with the, you don't want that receiver to get a free release, or, I don't want you to run your whole route without me being able to put a hand on you, right? Like,
yeah. So a lot of guys are getting free releases now because you're playing so much zone concept. And now you're matching a zone instead of just a person. It's not there's not a whole lot of 1 versus 1s anymore.
Yeah, and one of the things like I wanted to highlight when we were promoting you coming on the show, and I got a good shot of it, was you right up in Brandon Marshall's face. Like, that's what the game was, that physicality, and that's what you were known for. So to kind of see that dynamic change, we definitely understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, dynamic has changed. It's I said it would turn into track meet with pads, and it definitely did.
Yeah.
Quentin, looking back at it, if you could go back in time and talk to your rookie self, what advice would you give?
Probably has nothing to do with football, but don't marry the girl that I married.
I hope you're not still married.
Don't marry her.
Okay. That's great advice. Thank you.
All right.
Man. I'm just trying to keep it real.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
We appreciate the honesty.
Yeah, I keep it buck. Keep it a buck, man.
Okay, so before I get into the last question on this section here, what was it like playing with Antonio Cromartie? You guys were like a really good duo at corner, and you guys kind of did a really good job of complementing each other, I feel like. And so, like, what was it like playing with another great corner like Cromartie?
It was fun because you knew what you're going to get on his side, where, he was the flashy, I'm going to catch the pick and return it for touchdown. And I was kind of the gritty guy on the other side. So, we matched well because we could match up with our receiver types, like big, strong, physical receivers I would generally match up with, and like little quick receivers because he was more athletic, so he would match up with, or the big, tall Randy Moss guys. And we even matched him up one time with Tony Gonzalez in Kansas City when he was there. So it was always fun because he was such a great talent at corner that you could play him pretty much anywhere except safety, because he couldn't tackle worth shit.
That's true.
He couldn't tackle. Okay, so this is the last question, and then we're going to get into a lightning round, kind of like a get to know you a little more. Okay, so when people hear the name Quinten Jammer, what do you want them to remember?
That I was an amazing human being. I worked my butt off just to be a great, genuine dude. And so, like, I don't really care about that whole football, life. That was a part of my life, but it's not who I am. So I would want to be remembered as, a guy that I met, and like, he was just a great dude. Like he was, he was genuine. He sat down, he answered my questions. He looked me in my eye like a man and said, yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. So that's what I would hope people would say about Quinten Jammer.
I mean, just spending a little bit of time with you, I would agree. That's what I get out of you. So I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
I was just going to say that might be one of my favorite answers that we have gotten during our time, with different people and coaches and players and stuff. That might be one of my truly favorite answers that we have gotten. And I appreciate that from you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah.
All right. So kind of going into a little bit of a lightning round, Quentin. So you're known for being a trash talker. Who was the best trash talker you played against?
Philip Rivers.
Played against.
That's true.
Well, I mean, you did practice against them.
I mean, they practice against each other
every day.
That is true.
Was a dog fight.
That's really cool.
It was a competition. Game was a competition, and anytime I lined up across from Philip, receiver, it was a competition.
That's really cool. And you were coached by Norv Turner during a little bit of time, right after Marty. So with that adjustment, of course, did battles with Philip change? Of course, because as we all know, as you get further in the league, you get more experience, you adapt. So I'm assuming Philip had to adapt against you. So what, over the course of watching Philip Rivers, what was it like to see him evolve from where he was when he was a rookie to later on in the seasons with Norv Turner?
Philip was the same. He was the same. He didn't change. He got better at being a thrower of the football, but nothing else changed. He was just Philip. I don't know how else you can say it. He was Philip when he was a rookie, and he was the same Philip on his way out. He was just, old and gritty, but he was always the same, hard nosed. I'm gonna, attack you until I win, type guy. Philip didn't like to lose.
No, he didn't. He made that very clear.
Yes, he did.
Yeah. He was very animated.
Yeah.
Okay, so I kind of have a feeling I know your answer on this next one, but pick one: big hit or pick six.
Pick six. I didn't get a whole lot of them, so I'm definitely going with the pick six.
Well, you got the greatest one against Peyton Manning, so
that one was fun.
So with the league being full of good quarterbacks right now, which quarterback are you trying to take on right now?
Oh man, that's a good one. You know what? There's so many good ones, but Josh Allen, because when he runs the ball, people are scared to hit him.
Yep.
I would smash his ass.
That's what I love to hear. Absolutely.
See, and I know I'm a broken record, but we need that today. That's all I'm going to say on it. We need that.
I was going to say, if you had that mentality now and actually did that, that's a 15 unsportsmanlike penalty. You got one.
Yeah.
That's
a 6-game suspension.
Yeah, that's a fine coming through you, man.
It'll be worth it.
Yeah, so as a Chiefs fan, I'm curious, your favorite memory at Arrowhead, outside of Philip trash talking the fans after every win, but outside of that, favorite memory at Arrowhead?
I think I've already told it. Going from thinking that this, we lost this game to celebrating a win, when Dwayne Bowe, we kicked the onside kick, Dwayne Bowe gets hit, drops the ball. That's one of my favorite, if not my favorite memory there at Arrowhead.
Yeah, no, I thought that might be it when you mentioned it earlier, but I wanted to check. But we can at least agree that we still all hate the Raiders.
Another good one is Dante Hall breaks a kickoff return and Kasim Osgood runs him down and punches the ball out.
Oh yeah.
I remember that one.
Yeah.
So Quentin, my question for you is, did you have any pregame ritual that you would do, or a pregame food that you would take just to, kind of get you in the zone?
2 shots of Claza Azul.
Okay.
There we go.
Perfect.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, Timmy, take us home.
All right, Quentin, thank you so much for taking time out of your day. Thanks for joining the show. This was an absolute blast. And I got to tell you, when we had Coach Vermeil on the show, that was like it was a great experience for all of us. But, for Austin, especially being the Chiefs fan, that was like having you on the show, being the Chargers fan, that was just kind of like, my moment. So thank you for joining. You can take this time to go ahead and plug your socials, your articles, wherever people can find you.
You can't find me anywhere. You find me when you find me. I enjoy myself, man. I like to get out and do stuff like this. So, anytime you guys want me to come on, like, I have fun. I'd love to do it again. This is pretty awesome.
Hey, the regular season's around the corner, so keep your inbox open, and we'll definitely have you on for some commentary.
Hey, get ready for Chargers Raiders week. We'll bring that.
Absolutely,
hit me up.
That'll
man.
be so fun.
Hit me up.
All right,
I'll be ready.
Thanks for joining us, man. We appreciate it.
All right, thanks for having me.
Thank you, Quentin.
Yeah.
Hey, have a good day.
Oh, did he disconnect already? Yeah.
I guess he just dipped out. All right.
Sweet. Hey, that was so fun.
That's awesome. I was gonna ask him, since we're in the same area, if I saw him on the street, can I dab him up? But
yeah,
never mind.
I don't see why not. I mean, I feel like you guys have probably passed by each other, didn't even realize it.
We probably have.
I mean, I don't know how often you go getting your Bang energy drinks, so I'm sure you probably passed him by as he's going to a soccer field.
Yeah, maybe I've seen him at Dutch Brothers a couple of times.
I don't know if he's a Dutch Brothers fan, but that'd be pretty cool if he was. Man, that was fun. Timmy, how did you feel about that, dude? You got to talk to Quinten Jammer.
Hey, we all got to talk to Quinten Jammer, but yes.
I know, but dude, Quinten Jammer, man. Isn't that exciting for you?
Oh, it's dude. Hey, he's one of my favorite players. I mean, obviously LT, but I mean, like, defensive wise, he's always been one of my favorite players. So
yeah. All right. I think you need to close this out, Timmy, and then we're good. So thank you, everybody.
All right. Well, you guys have a good day. Keep the rivalry alive, and we'll see you next time.
Whoa.
Hang on. I'm kind of disappointed in us right now. And people that are watching, I apologize. We have a show tomorrow. Why don't we talk about that?
What are you talking about, Corey? What show are we doing? Go ahead.
I'm perfectly cool with us. We just talked to Quinten Jammer, but we're not going to do our people like this.
Okay. Corey, tell the people what we're doing tomorrow then, bud.
Man, so first off, thank you everyone for watching tonight. So we made a decision not too long ago about tomorrow. We have football. God dang it, Timmy! We have football tomorrow.
We have football.
Tomorrow.
Who's playing?
Loud noises.
Yeah.
Who's playing tomorrow?
So yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Never heard of
Sparkles.
Maybe someone who represents the team. I mean, they play tomorrow. So we made the decision. We're going to live stream the first half of the game tomorrow, and we're going to have a fan appreciation show. So we're going to have the game on. We'll try to put the ESPN stuff on the screen and kind of break down. Maybe Timmy give us some of the guys he's excited to see on the field. Trey Lance is starting tomorrow, but I know there's some rookies that Timmy's super excited about seeing. So Timmy's going to be able to give you guys a firsthand look on who he's excited to see, break it down for you guys. Yeah, man. I mean, it's football. That's what we're here for. We've been waiting 14 episodes for this.
Mm-hmm.
So now we have football tomorrow. It's not going to be the whole game. It's going to just be the first half. We'll talk. We want people blowing up the chat, talking to us. Give us some of the stuff you're looking for in preseason. What are some of the players you're excited to see on your teams going in? Because everyone else starts next weekend. So, I mean, it's here, right? Like you see all the training camp news. You hear about all the training camp news. I had NFL Network on doing their training camp preview. They're going around to all the training camps. I believe NFL Network was in Denver today as well. So, I mean, that was fun to see. So, again, we'll be on tomorrow during the game for the first half. Everyone come join us. Tell Timmy how excited you are to not see the Chargers. Tell Cody how much you think the Raiders are not going to win this year.
Whoa, bud. Simmer down.
Tell Corey that, it's still not the Broncos' year.
I never said it
You
was
know
the
what?
Broncos year.
I gotta say, Tim, the more that the regular season approaches, I'm kind of buying into Austin's prediction that the Chargers finish in last. So I'm starting to buy it a little bit. All right, man. We're just gonna see if Trey Lance is gonna beat out Justin Herbert for the #1 QB spot.
Bro, if that does,
Okay.
And we're all ready to see Ashton Jeanty be better than Omari on Hampton. So
yes. We gotta put some stakes on that. Put that in stone or something.
I was gonna say, like, I feel like at this point, we got to put something on, like, Chargers.
You know what?
finishing last.
Tomorrow, when we do the live stream for the game, we're to come up with some stakes about it between Amari and Hampton and Ashton Jeanty. We'll cook something up and we'll declare it on tomorrow's show.
Live.
All
right, Timmy. You take some now, buddy. Good job hosting tonight.
Thanks.
All right. So let's do some shout outs to our sponsor. First off, we want to shout out Emporia State Federal Credit Union. Thank you guys so much for being sponsors. Also, we want to shout out to Field Ops. Thank you so much for being a sponsor. And then also, do not forget Spy Optics. Use Orange 20 to get 20% off your shades. You guys, probably the best sunglasses that I've personally owned. I'll speak for myself.
I will tell you, this is the best pair of sunglasses I've ever owned in my entire life.
And I don't feel nearly as pretentious when I put these on indoors. So,
like, I feel cool when I wear these indoors. All right.
All right, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Follow us on social media. Tim, great job tonight, bud.
Thanks. And remember to keep the rivalry alive.
We'll see you.